control. Twists and turns gonna take its toll. Changing just constant.
Here we go again on our own, as Whitesnake would say. We are here, Subject to Changes podcast. It's the summer. It's hot as the dickens, and we are talking about summer movies in the horror genre. I am here with my good friend and co-host, Eric Michaelian. Eric, how are you doing this warm summer?
I'm doing great, buddy. Like I said, I love this weather, and I love me some summer horror films. I'm really glad we're staying in the whole summer genre because it is hot as balls, and there's nothing better than a good summer flick on a hot day.
Yeah, and there's that song, Summertime and the Living is Easy. You like that song?
Sing it for me.
It's summertime and the living is easy. No? I can't sing.
you just said the words over again.
You want me to say it again? That's how the song goes. That's how the song goes. I need.
Who's singing? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite song now. Thank you.
Maybe
Geno.
you should research.
Cover of that song.
I would say
for me.
if I had a backup band like Jennifer Love Hewitt in this, I would be good.
We are reviewing the I Know What You Did Last Summer trilogy. Geno, I've been meaning to tell you this for a year now.
Okay.
I know what you did last summer. In fact, I still know what you did last summer. In fact, I'll always know what you did last summer. Probably when swimming. Probably when on vacation. Me? I murdered a guy with my car.
Ooh.
And
nice.
Buried the body in the sea. So that's the whole synopsis of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
It is. And I want to say something on a personal note. I didn't know they remade this movie and that it's either out or coming out soon. I saw Jennifer Love Hewitt, and I saw a lot of trolls online taking jabs at her weight. And I want to say something. She looked fucking good. And I don't give a shit what those assholes said. I thought she looked good with a little bit more meat on her bones. What do you think, Eric?
I honestly have not seen any real trailers for this movie or know what she looks like, even though I was in sort of a commercial for this movie. I didn't watch the trailer. Sorry.
I didn't see the trailer. I saw the, I guess it was the premiere, and she was out there in her sparkly dress. I think they call women thick. She's thick now, but she's fucking still beautiful, curvy. I don't know what these guys are saying. All I know is she looked good in these movies from the 90s. She's held up well now. And if you're listening, don't listen to the haters. They're probably, as Eric may say, living in their mom's basement. So,
that is something I say often. As a general policy, I tend not to comment on people's weight in positive or negative. That can be a touchy subject in either direction, so I just kind of fucking avoid it. And you know what? My life is all the happier for it.
Not me.
I know.
I lean the other. I lean the other way. This is what I call positive reinforcement. She might be crying, and then she'll hear this and say, "Geno's right. I'm gonna get my bodyguards to find these trolls and stomp a mud hole in their ass." And if that happens out of this, I've done my job.
So anyway,
yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Shall we sort of lay the groundwork as to where slasher films were in 1997?
Absolutely. I think you can start with the one that brought it all back, right? Scream.
Slasher films were kind of all but dead in 1995. They killed off Jason. They killed off Freddy. They tried to bring Freddy back with a new nightmare, but it didn't click at the box office.
Yep.
In 1996, Wes Craven hit the ground running with the new slasher film, sort of a postmodern slasher film that commented on all the slasher films that came before it. And we had Scream. Capitalizing on the success of Scream, the writer of Scream, Kevin Williamson, had already actually written I Know What You Did Last Summer before Scream, but because of where slashers were at the time, nobody was interested. When he revived it with Scream, he gave them this script, and they probably paid him a shit ton of money for it, too.
I would think so. It's a pretty decent flick. Like, if you're looking at this time, Scream had redefined slasher films. Like, you had this, you had Valentine, you had Urban Legend. There was a certain vibe to the 90s that I really liked. And it goes for movies and music. I don't think I really appreciated it then, but going down memory lane with these movies and thinking about the movies of the time, there was a really cool vibe, and I think Wes Craven has a lot to do with that.
Completely agree. So we start I Know What You Did Last Summer with a pretty good opening helicopter shot. Did you check that? It was pretty decent sweeping hills of, I believe it's South Carolina, North Carolina.
It was a beautiful shot, although I could have done without Typo Negative's Summer Breeze cover.
Oh yeah, summer breeze makes me feel fine.
What the fuck? There's no bigger gimmicky band than Typo Negative. Were you a Typo Negative fan?
I've never heard of them until you just said their name. I like.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't. I'm not. I wasn't a music guy. Not really a music guy.
Big.
This was not a good introduction to them.
No, they have a couple songs like Cinnamon Girl is okay, but this song they basically took a dump on it. Even though the cinematography in this beginning shot, which is very badass, that song it kind of took me out of it.
It was definitely not a good song. Although I can see why they did it in the grungy 90s. You know, everything in the 90s was so.
It was. No, it sure was.
Nobody was happy. Couldn't even have a nice little song on Summer Breeze makes me feel fine. Had to ruin that shit too.
Yep.
So we open
Oh,
on
yeah.
Helen, played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, is in a beauty pageant, while Julie, Barry, and Ray, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ryan Phillippe, and Freddie Prinze Jr. watch on respectively. They ask her like what they want to do, what she wants to do for her country or something like that. She goes, "I want to serve my country through artistic expression."
Oh God.
Good
Well,
opening line.
and you know, you look at that very beginning. I walked away with a few things. Helen on the stage, prancing around. You got Barry, her boyfriend, screaming, "That's my girlfriend." That was, I thought, kind of out of character considering how like conceited he was that he would need that attention. But then Julie is like sexist overload. Who wants to hang out with a wet blanket like that? When Julie said that line, just because they're saying, hey, there's some women up there in bikinis, why did she have to open up her mouth and try to ruin that shit? Did that make you dislike her immediately?
Oh, I think she was just sort of commenting on like the vapid nature of beauty pageants. I feel similarly, but I probably wouldn't do it if my friend was in it. I'd be all for it.
Yeah, I'm all for it too. If you got it, flaunt it. You know, don't let anyone tell you not to flaunt it. You know, the only ones I'm against are those fucking child pageants. Those things need to fucking go.
Yeah, agreed. That what a terrible thing to put children through. So they go to an after party after Helen wins the pageant, and where they meet Johnny Galecki's Max
Yes.
and Elsa Shivers. Shivers or Shivers?
Uh,
Played by Bridget Wilson. You recognize her?
Billy Madison. Yes.
Billy Madison, this girl would never fall for this fucking idiot teacher there, and she was in Mortal Kombat and Last Action Hero. She
Was she Sonya in Mortal Kombat?
was Sonya in Mortal Kombat.
Wow. Yeah. I'm surprised she didn't make it further because she's got a great look. She can act. What was she got these beginning roles? Billy Madison was a hit. This movie made 126 million on a 17 million-dollar budget. What was missing there? Why didn't she strike it in the film business? Any idea or any theory?
I was thinking the exact same thing. I just wonder if she never got that role that showed she was more than just a pretty face. Last Action Hero, Mortal Kombat, fucking Billy Madison were all kind of sex symbol types, you know, like there wasn't required a lot of acting. So maybe she just never got that breakout role.
Yeah, maybe so. And even here, she was playing third or fourth fiddle to this group. What did you think of Johnny Galecki in this as Max? I like Johnny Galecki, but he doesn't get a lot of work too outside of that shitty fucking sitcom he was on.
He actually got a lot of work. He was on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. He was on Roseanne. He was on Big Bang Theory. He was in that movie Rings. He might just be one of those guys that like when you're on a TV show like that, you make all your money for like the rest of your life, especially if it's like nationally syndicated. He probably just might not need to act. He's been around for decades.
You know what his best movie is, in my opinion? Outside of throwing out National Lampoon's Vacation.
That's a great movie. No, I don't know it.
Have you seen Bookies?
No.
He is in college, and him and his buddies in college, they become bookies, and they cross the mob. Real good movie, and he's really good in it. So I highly recommend that one.
Okay. Helen and her sister, they go to the party after she wins, and Helen and her sister hate each other for some reason. I really liked this relationship. She was just like such an asshole to Sarah Michelle Gellar after she won the pageant. She's like, "Oh, princess, can you be at the store tomorrow? Oh, princess." You're like, "Fucking what an asshole!" But you can kind of tell that there's like a major amount of jealousy there. She's like Helen's the one that gets all the attention, you know?
I would think so because, like, if you look at it, Helen is all about herself, all about her looks, all about her hair. The whole town claps for her. She's a complete fake. Oh, I want to go through my art and fucking give everyone a hard on. And while Elsa has to work in the fucking clothing store, it's a bitch because Elsa is doing everything right, and Helen's trying to just cruise by on this very shallow thing where she has no real talent. She can't sing. She's pretty, but sometimes you're in a town where there's not a lot of pretty girls, so you win. So I'm with Elsa on this one. Fuck Helen, but I also, like you, enjoyed the banter between the two. Dad,
Yeah.
he seems kind of oblivious to both of them. There might be more to this movie left on the cutting room floor because the dad was in one scene and he ignores them both.
Was there mom in this movie?
I didn't see any mom, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking he was just raising them solo.
Well, I know this is based on a book that I did not read. Maybe there's more in the book that just sort of like was in the script but got cut out, like you said. So they all end up going to the beach. You know, they talk about what they're going to do with their future and how Helen wants to move to New York City, and Ryan Phillippe Barry wants to play on the Dallas Cowboys. I forget what the fuck Julie and Ray said, like what they wanted to do. Ray wants to be a fisherman. I don't know.
Ray had something going on, but I think that whole fisherman thing was something he had in his back pocket because he's the only one out of the group that wasn't born into upper middle class or money. I think he tried to compete, and then he always knew if everything else fails, he can go back and fish. And nothing wrong with that. That's what they
Nope.
did in The Perfect Storm. It's nice. It seems like a nice job.
Freddie Prinze Jr. and Julie, they wind up like having sex. I think it seems like the first time that
Yeah,
night.
definitely,
So
definitely.
everybody's getting laid. Everyone's riding high. Barry decides that he wants to take them all home drunk from the beach. Ray
Yep.
says, "No, not on my watch. There will be no teen drunk driving here." So Ray starts driving the car, and Barry's like acting a goddamn fool, like hanging out the sunroof or whatever.
Yes.
And then what happens? They
Well,
hit somebody on the
you get
road.
the fisherman walking on the street.
We don't necessarily know
No, not
who
at
it
this point.
is.
And we do get in the beginning of the film some sorry sack of shit sitting on the rocks looking at a charm or like a necklace. That kind of feeds into this movie once you get into it. They hit the guy, and we get some weird shit that happens here. Ray was not drunk, and Ray was driving.
Nope.
But we get Barry who gets paranoid saying, they're never going to believe I wasn't driving. I understand it's his car, but Ray was ready to take the blame, and Barry basically bullied the group into not saying anything. And even Ray, I think Ray was the one that finally bought into it, saying, "We're gonna fry no matter who takes the blame." But if you look at the fisherman who was walking, he was walking into traffic. You're supposed to be walking with traffic, so he broke a traffic law, and it was dark. He was at fault. What do you think?
Pedestrians always have the right of way, according to law. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They should have not been driving that recklessly at night like that, to the point where you would hit someone. But he's trying to be clandestine, as we'll find out later. What are the fucking odds? Knowing what we know about the rest of the story, what are the fucking odds about the person that they hit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this movie definitely has a few head scratchers in it. I would definitely like to look into this idea because I do think pedestrians do have the right of way, but I don't think it's exclusive. I think there are situations where they don't. And I would say a guy walking into traffic in the pitch dark would have at least the known risk that he's going to get hit. So I think these guys would have gotten away with it outside of maybe a reckless driving if they determined that they were going too fast.
The whole premise of this, all of these movies, the whole premise that is very flimsy on like all accounts.
For
But
sure.
I guess when you're a teen and you're kind of an idiot, you freak out easy. Teenagers' adrenal glands are too fucking high,
Yep.
Their prefrontal cortex is not developed all the way. So, I mean, they're going to make terrible decisions. And so they make an even worse decision. Why don't we just get rid of the body? No harm, no foul. So what would now, Geno, if you were on a cliffside and you just hit somebody with your car and you wanted to get rid of the body, what would you do? And to alleviate us of any legal liability, this is just sort of a suppose situation. It's a hypothetical situation. What would you do?
I would definitely throw him off the cliff. They found his boot. I'd throw his boot off the cliff too. And if you look at it like, okay, so Barry has money. Barry's family is wealthy. It wouldn't take much for Barry to come home and say, hey, I hit a deer. Can you fix the front of my car? His car would be fixed. The body is gone. He has nothing to worry about. But even if they went to the cops and they got accused, you would think that Barry's family could bail him out, or Helen or whoever, because they come from money. So I'm not sure if their reasoning here was good outside of Ray, who's broke as shit.
Like I said, they're dumb teens making dumb decisions. So they drive him all the way down to the fucking pier and throw him right off the pier. And they're like, oh, the current will take him away and the crabs will get him and blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, when they throw the guy in the water, he's not fucking dead.
Yeah.
He grabs Helen's crown and then Barry jumps in and saves it. They all freak out, and Jesus Christ, this is where you figure out like Ryan Phillippe is going to be doing some big acting in this movie. He is like a one-note Johnny in this, which sucks because Ryan Phillippe is a pretty decent actor. He's just like screaming his head off the whole time, and it's such a hothead, and not even in an interesting way. It just oof.
Well, the writing here is not fantastic, and Barry does go ape shit all the time. So they end up drowning the guy, and he gets, this is stupid, goes to sink. He grabs Helen's crown, and she's like, he's got my crown. Why would you want the crown? Unless, like, what is that character? It's not Zeus. The guy who has, what you call it, like the poker and the crown under the sea. What's that guy?
Oh, Poseidon?
Poseidon, yeah. Maybe this guy, he was going for that Poseidon thing. He just needed the trident. He had the crown. But they go and they end up getting. What? Well, why would the dead guy want the crown? Give me another reason.
So because he wanted to, like, if he was going to die, he wanted evidence of who did it, and that is a unique looking crown, don't you think?
It is unique, and he could say, "I'm the king of the lake." That wouldn't be a bad final thought, I suppose. But yeah, so they get the crown back. Now we are fast forwarding a year. Like, they basically agree, we're taking the secret to the grave, make the promise, and the only one that has really any resistance is Julie. Julie knows she's going into law. She knows that her ass is on the line, and she also wants to do the right things. She's like, we should call someone, we should do something, and Barry goes ape shit again. Like you said, the actor, Phillippe, should have been given more. He's better than this. Like, if you watch, like, even Antitrust, he's so good and diverse, and here, one trick pony.
I think he's just a young actor. When you're young, you think yelling is acting, you know? So give him a pass. He does some good stuff later. So 1 year later, Julie is in college. She's about to go home for 4th of July, and her black roommate is really obsessed with her whiteness.
I noticed that too.
She says like 3 times, she's like, you better get a tan. Like, get your pale ass out there. And like, listen, white girl. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, fucking racist? Like,
racist as fuck.
This is what happens when a white dude writes a black girl. And he's just like, oh, they're obsessed with like how pale their white friends are, right? That's sassy talk.
Yeah, move your little round white ass. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, calm down.
Calm the fuck down. Yeah, we get it. Julie's white. And she wasn't that pasty. Get off her back.
She's a little pasty.
I
don't know if that was just like to imply that she's a shut-in or something like that because she's so despondent over what happened. I think she's like flunking out of school or some shit like that.
I had issues with that. That's not what a friend does. You say it once. Say, hey, move your white ass, and that's it. And instead, also, I forget what I was on white ass, and I lost my frame of thought. Go ahead, proceed.
And when Julie goes home, her mother finds out that she's flunking out of college. And she says, like, God, your father's turning over in his grave. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like,
that's
her
fucked.
dead father would be disappointed. She's fucking like, wow, like way to fucking go, mom. Like, what a bitch.
And she follows up
Um,
with, "Are you on drugs?"
but that's, everybody was on drugs in the 90s. And then
Hmm.
that's why I figured out this takes place in North Carolina. And I kept thinking this took place in Seattle for some reason.
Yeah,
So
for some reason I thought
in
it
my
took place in
head,
Gloucester. I thought because of the whole. I watched Perfect Storm last week, so I'm like,
oh
this
yeah.
looks like Gloucester, and there's a fisherman. Makes sense to me. So yeah,
Hmm.
I still call it Gloucester. If anyone asks, I'll contend it's Gloucester.
It is Gloucester. You got it right. And that's when Julie goes upstairs and she finds a letter that says, "I know what you did last summer," with an exclamation point. I love when killers do proper punctuation.
I like when they leave
So
notes.
immediately we
Yeah.
know this killer went to college.
You know what was missing from this though was a yearbook and him crossing out pictures. I like when they do that in horror films where they have a group of people that went to school together and they break out the yearbook and they cross their face out when they kill them. I miss that. It's not done enough.
Oh, was that Fatal Games or Graduation Day or Final Exam? Which one was that?
All of the above. Yes.
Was it all the above?
Yeah, and I also think it happened in Class Reunion Massacre as well. That people do that if you're going to be a killer that wears a mask and have a yearbook, you're going to cross out pictures. It just makes sense. After Julie gets this note, they go to Barry, and Barry says,
Oh, they
"What
go
a
to Helen first. So
oh Helen first, yes,
Helen
yeah.
finally, Helen's working at her family clothing store, and she is, man, is she acting that she's smoking. It's so noticeable to me, just like when someone has never smoked a cigarette in their life, and they're just like,
Mhm.
oh god, it's so stressful. So lame.
Yeah, I did. I
Sorry,
didn't notice.
that stood out to me.
No, I didn't notice that, but that's the whole thing. Yeah, you get these non-smokers. You think that she'd be an actor enough to fucking bang that shit out? What do you think?
That's like a really specific action. As someone who smoked, like I can spot when someone's not being genuine with it. Like if a nurse was watching something about nursing, was like, that's not how you do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that. It's kind of like my whole stance on sex scenes in movies where people are wearing bras and panties. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah, this makes no sense. Was it dry hump season? There was
You
nothing
got a
wrong with
season
that.
for that? Is that
I,
like duck season?
I would say yes, and I would say it would have to be in the fall because you'd build up quite a sweat in the summer dry humping somebody, and in the fall it's a perfect weather. Open the windows, let that cool breeze come in, and get your dry hump on.
And get it on like you're going to a Mormon college. So
Some
then they
awesome,
go and tell Barry
yes,
together, and Barry
yeah.
suspects that it's Max, Johnny Galecki.
And Max is a good suspect. Going into this film, Max is kind of an outcast, kind of like a guy who never gets the girl. So I get the theory, but I didn't like some of the writing here. It was pretty lazy. Where when Max gets roughed up by Barry, because Barry wants to scare Max and tell him, if you're fucking with us, if you're writing letters, then you fucking stop, Max, and you stop now, you bitch. When he lets Max go, Max says, "I'll call the cops on your college quarterback ass." Now, I can only imagine the writer thinking, how can I let the people know he's a college quarterback? And I thought that was an unbelievable way because if you got roughed up by a guy who was a college quarterback at some point, is that what you would say? Would you throw in college quarterback, Eric, if someone
I
did that
would.
to you? You would?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't. I would say I'll call the cops on your ass. No college, no quarterback, all ass. That's where I would be.
All
And
ass, baby.
all ass. And so Max is our first victim. And we get the first cool shots of the fisherman. And I'm only calling him the fisherman because finally in the third movie they named him something outside of what his official legal name is. So he is the fisherman comes out. He's hiding. I think this is when he's hiding behind plastic, if I'm not mistaken. Attacks Max, and fuck is the fisherman strong. What did you think of that hook under the neck launch scene?
Pretty awesome, especially if you don't know what the fisherman, like what his deal is. You're just like, oh Jesus, like what the hell, man. But then, I mean, I don't know, like our fishermen, like they're pulling nets all day and they're lifting, who knows. So
Yeah.
I bought it. I think it was maybe the coolest death in probably the movie.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I really like that death, and I thought it was a great way to introduce the killer here. You know, you gotta love whodunits. Anytime you see a guy in a mask with any weapon in a horror film, I'm sold. I'm ready. I want that guy at the end to say, "Ah, this is why I did it." I like that shit. And here we get something like that with Max getting killed, and now the killer, he's not done sending notes. What happened with the Polaroid and Barry and the car theft? Remind me. I got some notes here, but I kind of forget.
So Barry works out. He finds a picture of his car in the locker room. So he finds out his keys have been stolen, and then he sort of goes out into the parking lot where he's chased down by his car and hit by the
Yes,
fisherman.
that is right.
And Barry winds up in the hospital.
And he's launched. There's a point where Barry says, "If he wanted to kill me, he would have killed me." Well, hitting you at 40 miles an hour, what the? I think maybe killing you may have been on the agenda. What did you? And also, I want to say something about that guy who worked at the gym. When Barry ran over to him and said, "Hey, did you see anybody come through here?" That guy had his feet up. He was reading, I don't know what it was, a porn mag. And he's like, "No, no one came in here but you." That guy should have been fired or killed by the fisherman.
For
Were you
what?
upset for not doing his goddamn job?
What
He's
was his
supposed.
job?
If you work at Planet Fitness, the
Yes.
people come in, they have to show their ID. You look them up in the system, and you say, "Okay, you're all set to go on that rowing machine." You don't sit there with your back turned and everyone and their uncle walks in with their fat, sweaty ass and go on that rowing machine. Barry,
This isn't Planet Fitness. This is like a random workout gym at Fish Pier Road or whatever, and like maybe he didn't see the person who walked in because they came in a back way. Who knows? You can't don't start going after the workers. You have no idea what his story is. Maybe he's just
fire
had a fight with his wife. And
fire
sitting
his
there
ass.
reading a magazine is the only thing that brings him joy. And
He
when he's
doesn't
waiting
get
for everyone to leave so he can work out his frustration.
he doesn't
You're
get
always
paid to
taking it
read a
out on the
magazine.
workers, man.
He doesn't get paid to read a magazine. Do your
He
damn
gets,
job.
what do you want him to do? Just sit there and watch Barry work out?
Well, there's things he can do. I mean, he can wipe down the seats. He can scrub
Maybe
the
he already
shower
did it.
floor.
Could have already done it.
He could. He could.
Whole place could have been clean except for Barry. And you know what? Maybe after everything that Barry does, he runs over, rubs off or should I say, cleans up the seat. Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
I wasn't.
The whole place. Maybe he's ready to get the fuck out, and Barry's the only person holding him up, and he's just waiting until Barry leaves to clean up the rest of everything. Because why start good when you don't know what Barry's going to do? You know, back off the gym, guys.
Sit forward and wait for the next customer. That's why you're getting paid minimum wage. And shut up. So we get Barry in the hospital, and we get the line. It's some guy in a slicker. I didn't
Yeah.
know they were called slickers.
Yeah, you didn't know they're called rain slickers?
No, I just said raincoat, but apparently the whole ensemble is a slicker.
Yeah. Well, the jacket is slicker, and the
Oh,
hat is a hat, so it's a slicker hat combo.
so I was on the right track. Now I know.
You would have gotten there eventually.
But a few weeks.
They look up. I forget how they get onto the whole David Egan thing. They suspect that they hit David Egan,
Yeah, yes they do.
and they look up David Egan on the internet.
Yes, and Julie was the
Whoa.
one that figured out it was David Egan, because Julie was keeping an eye on the local news and found out a body was pulled out of the out of some shrimp net, and that was
Yes.
David Egan.
Oh, okay. And they find out that David Egan was in a car wreck the year before, and it wound up killing his fiance. And
Yes.
you can kind of piece together that David was the person in the beginning sitting on the cliff like a sad sack of shit. So then they go and visit Missy Egan, David's sister, played by Anne
The
Heche.
beautiful, glorious Anne Heche. What a beauty!
6 days, 7 nights, Donnie Brasco, and oh god, she was in the
Vol-
Psycho
Volcano.
remake. She was in the Psycho remake.
She was, which I think gets too much hate. She was in Volcano. She was good in Volcano. She is a cute. She reminds me of Meg Ryan to a degree. Cute, beautiful, good actress, and gone too soon.
Made of porcelain, looks like. In this movie, she looks like she's being held together by Elmer's glue.
Yes.
So she says that some friend of David's named Billy Blue came to visit after the death to say how sorry he was. I mean, that's basically it. So then she looks like she's losing her grip on reality. And I was like, yeah, that's a good Anne Heche performance. But then she does something that this is in every horror movie. Because I don't know if you can do a horror movie without doing this. Someone who's non-threatening comes up and like either slams on your car window to get your attention or grabs you from behind without announcing their presence.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think that
It's
you
just
see
like,
it
hey,
everywhere.
forgot your cigarettes.
It's a cheap jump scare. They do it all the time for sure. I want to mention the car that they were driving. I believe it was a Plymouth Reliant, and I owned a Plymouth Reliant around that time. The fact that it broke down was very unbelievable. Plymouth Reliants, they ran like shit, but they ran like shit forever. I think Anne Heche's character Missy was right to be suspicious. Shame on the movie for having that car in it, because that car really sucks. Have you ever owned a Plymouth Reliant?
No.
Why not? Too good for it?
Because by the time I was of driving age, Plymouth Reliants were like 90 years old.
I only got you by 10 years. I could have handed
90
down.
years old.
I could have handed down my Plymouth Reliant to you as your first car.
Judging by how those things fell apart, you'd be handing to me in pieces.
I would. So
they end up going home and they start surmising that maybe David Egan wanted to die.
Yeah.
Maybe he was going up there to commit suicide. And I was like, that's a pretty big leap in logic there, homie. Like, I know we know that, but how do you know that?
It's almost like a natural reaction, don't you think? Because you're all living with the guilt. And the idea that you didn't hit him, he jumped in front of you, would make you sleep better at night. So I kind of get it, but you're right, though. They kind of connected the dots a little bit too quick.
We see that the fisherman goes into Helen's house, and this is just a little funny thing. I watch movies with subtitles. I don't know about you.
Okay.
But the fisherman's hiding in Helen's closet, and she starts changing. And on the closed captioning, it said, "Zipper unzips." So naturally, I was like, "Wait a minute, is he gonna rub one out in her closet?"
Well, he's a flesh and blood guy, and she's beautiful, so you can't blame him. Remember the Crush with Alicia Silverstone? That
Carrie Elways, yeah.
Yeah, that Princess Bride guy was in the closet rubbing one out.
He wasn't rubbing one out. He was just like, he was in her closet for like, he was snooping around her room or something like that, and he was just like got caught in there.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Am I thinking of the Princess
You're thinking of the
Bride?
Psycho remake.
Oh my God, yeah,
That's
with
what
Vince
happens
Vaughn.
in the Psycho remake.
They added nothing but that one thing. So you get Julie going back to go talk to Anne Heche, and now she's like,
Well, hang on, because something really devastating happens in this scene.
oh, yes.
Sarah Michelle Gellar wakes up, and what's happened, man?
Yeah, so the killer decides to cut her hair, and now I like my hair, I do. But if I woke up and someone cut my hair into a mess, I wouldn't look into the mirror and scream like I was killed. I would just be like, okay, get the Ring camera going. I want to see who came in with scissors. Helen, she loves her hair. Now she has to wear a hat, and it gets worse for Julie because Julie finds
that's like something the Saw killer would do to preteens. Like if this was a PG-13 Saw movie, it's like, and he cut off all her hair. Ah!
well, and well, she had to, like, I guess she's so invested in her looks that got her, but it was a little bit fucked up. We get the most iconic line of the film, I think, is when Julie is there with the group and the dead body was in the trunk and now it's gone, and she's like, he's fucking with us, and she looks up and says, "What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?" I like that. I want to start screaming that, like when I'm expecting a delivery from UPS.
Allegedly, that was like directed by a 9-year-old.
Really?
Some kid won a contest, or that was the note that the 9-year-old gave Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like, throw your arms out and just like spin around and be like, "What are you waiting for?"
Hey, well, that 9-year-old's more talented than this guy.
After they find Max in Julie's trunk surrounded by crabs, this pissed me off. how did they get the body in there with the crabs and then a couple of minutes later get it out and there's like no evidence that there was a body or crabs in there?
Yeah, I didn't like that
Like
either
in
because
crowded white suburbia, especially like where everybody's like on alert, you know?
yeah, you would think like the amount of time it would take to scoop the body and then grab every crab out of there would take a lot of time. And then also you got to jimmy the trunk open. There's like a lot of fucking things that go into it. So, yeah, I'm with you there. I thought that sucked too. There should have at least been like some water or something to signify that we had a body in there. I'm with you there. Getting back to what are you waiting for one more time. Have you ever seen the Scary Movie where they parodied that scene?
Yes.
That I couldn't stop thinking about that because even though I don't find Scary Movie very funny, that one scene where the guy's gonna jump and he screams, "What are you waiting for? What am I waiting for?" That made me laugh even though I wasn't watching it. So,
You know,
uh,
it's funny you say that because I realized while I was watching this, I have confused a lot of scenes from Scary Movie with this film. Like
okay,
like when they go to the pageant and Barry is murdered in the
hmm
balcony and Helen can see him. I always remembered her doing like an acting monologue and like
yes,
no one's believing her. And I'm like, wait, I thought she was gonna do a monologue or something. And then I was like, oh no, that's fucking Scary Movie, which was fucking. I think Scary Movie's hilarious.
I'm not a huge fan. It does have some laughs. Like when Barry had the Polaroid, I did think of Scary Movie where the guy had a Polaroid of his dick. I thought that and if you look at Scary Movie comparatively to Date Movie or Disaster Movie, the Wayans brothers are head and shoulders above that crap, no doubt. Anyway, Helen is back at the. I guess she's like doing the changing of the guard with the new queen, and
Mhm.
Barry is back in the balcony, and now the fisherman shows up. We get Barry killed, which I think it couldn't have come soon enough because Barry's character, for as good as Philippi is, really blows fucking donkeys. I didn't. They really, like you mentioned it earlier, they underutilized his talents. Just yelling all the time. There was no dimension to him.
No, and they cast Ryan Phillippe, who like I'm sorry, he's supposed to be like a major football star. This dude is like 160 pounds soaking wet. He
Yep.
has like, no like muscle. I mean, if you had said he was like maybe like a wrestler or something like that, I would have bought it. But like, I don't see it unless he's
Yeah.
like bench warmer or something.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. Not so much bad casting because Philippi's good, but they should have altered it a little bit to fit him because he was very thin, and
Mhm.
anyone that tackles him would cut him in two. Fear the spear, as they say. And you
You
have
know who would have been good in this role? You know who would have been good? Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell would have been good in this role. I like Jerry
Big
O'Connell.
guy, like
Yep.
big dude, fucking can play an arrogant prick, and yeah, I feel like that's a tremendous miscast.
Yeah, because he had the bod for it. Like you said, he was fucking built like a brick shit house. He can act. He can be a little bit obnoxious at times, but that would work for this role.
We got officer. This actor looks like he just plays a fucking officer all the time. He looks like a small town cop, is what he looks like.
He
But
does.
he offers to take Helen home after they don't find any evidence of Barry being murdered in the balcony. They stop because someone's car has broken down in an alleyway they're driving through for some reason. And it's the fisherman, and he winds up murdering the cop. And then
Yes.
Helen runs to her family store where her sister is working, and they do that. Fucking Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, man. I love
Okay.
slasher films, but this whole sprinting teenager, like being caught up to by a slow, methodically walking killer, this shit's gotta go.
Really?
It was it was good in Halloween. It worked in Halloween because
Yep.
you're dealing with a bunch of children who are just like they're upstairs and they're asleep and she can't get in, and like he's fucking coming, man. But this is just like, bro, he plans on killing her, so he's not fucking with her.
Yes.
Like just fucking put some pep in your step. This is one trope I think it has to go. It's a holdover from the 80s. It's
Yep.
got to go. I'm sorry. I know it's suspenseful, but it's not believable. Adios.
I'm on team. It's got to stay. But I will say this: I had a couple of notes concerning Barry's death. When Helen ran to go see Barry, people were holding her back. Now, why were they holding her back? She was running up, and the crowd came out and started grabbing her by the arms. Now, you're a stage actor. Has there ever been a point where you ran off stage? You know, maybe the Taco Bell drive-through hit you the wrong way, and people tried to stop you. Does that happen?
No, but there's been a few times where drunk people tried to get on stage and they were being held back.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could definitely see that because I've dealt with it in film with extras. So
They're
yeah.
like, hey, Romeo, hey. He's like,
Oh
I'm going to
God.
fucking stab you.
The other thing, like I want to bring up is the cop. You brought up the cop. So the cop has Helen in the back, and she calls him little shitstick Mayberry reject. That seems
Yeah.
like too many insults in one sentence, don't you think?
Well, it was overwritten dialogue, as was the way in the 90s. Once Quentin Tarantino hit the scene, it's like,
Yep.
we just need to just like say a lot of random crap now.
Yeah, I was happy
You know?
that we didn't hear another bubble butt boyfriend in this. Were you? I hate that
Bubble
line.
butt boyfriend Billy. Yeah, it's like a scene that's just like, Jesus.
Yeah,
Why
because
would-
I've never heard
Come on,
that before.
old man. Like
Yeah.
this is where you're just like a bunch of dudes are reading teenage girls.
Yeah, bubble butt. Like that's weird. It's almost an insult. Like if I said, "Hey Eric, look at that bubble butt," you would assume I'd be talking about some rotund gentleman, wouldn't you?
I have no idea what it means. I guess it's just a butt that sticks out. Skeet Ulrich is really fucking scrawny. Oh fuck. Okay, we're getting off topic. We're
Well,
getting
well,
off topic.
you wouldn't blow a bubble butt, would you?
Way off topic.
Okay, proceed. We won't talk about blowing bubble butt.
The killer unbelievably fucking walks up to the store. He winds up killing her sister Elsa. This is where he was like wrapped in plastic here. This is where
Yes.
he's the killer's in the store and he's chasing after Helen, and he in 3 seconds puts some cellophane on himself and pretends to be a mannequin. That shit's unbelievable too.
But wasn't it cool looking?
No.
I loved it.
Okay.
I wanted more of it.
I want more cellophane.
Bring it. Yeah, I thought that was cool as shit when he launched out of it quickly. I thought you want speed, there's speed.
No, it's not speed if you take like your sweet fucking time putting cellophane over here pretending to be a mannequin. Like, oh yeah, I gotta sneak up on the teenage girl. Oh. fuck that noise, Jack. So he chases her outside. She's about to escape from the alley into the crowded parade when for some reason she fucking stops and turns around. He jumps out and kills her behind some tires, which was okay. That was a pretty neat scene. Why did she stop? Why? You know what?
Yeah.
I feel like in my old age, I'm starting to be the people that I hated when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like,
it happens.
oh, those movies don't make any sense. Like, why would she stop if they're killers? Blah blah blah. It's like, well, you don't understand. It's part of the movie. And now I feel myself becoming them.
Yeah, I think it's easy to become that because like I have kids and like I watch what they watch and I'm like, they don't make movies like they used to in my day. Either I'm right and all these movies suck balls, or I'm just not growing with the times. But since I'm probably right, I think today's movies suck balls. And
You have not
what?
seen good modern movies. That's your problem. You have not seen good modern films.
What are you talking about? Just saw Jurassic Park Rebirth.
Well, I'll you know what? I'll let you review that. I'll see what a Geno McGahee review of a 2025 movie is.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
I'm excited. I think you're missing out on a ton of great movies. I think you just refuse to watch because you'd rather complain about how movies have turned into terrible messes than go out of your way to watch an interesting, cool movie.
The problem is I don't have time. If I watch The Burbs 14 times a week, it's hard to sandwich in a new movie in there. But I'll try. If it broadens my horizons, as long as it's not part of that shitty Marvel fucking universe, I'll give it a shot.
Right, you'd rather watch part of the shitty Jurassic Park universe.
Hey, I'll take dinosaurs over some guy with a lightning bolt up his ass. I had a weird thought during this film. Isn't it strange that like we scream, like just human beings scream? Because that happened a lot in this movie, and I thought like it's kind of weird that we have that reaction. We are like survivors. That being quiet would be the thing that we would do. Any thoughts on that? Why we scream as humans
Scream for what?
when they see the dead body? Ah!
Oh, just shock. Like when I get surprised, I have a habit of just yelling out like I think I did it in fucking Dark Walker. Where I was like, Jesus Christ! Like that's what I say when I'm just like completely caught off guard and shocked.
When I heard that, I thought you were alone in a room with a body pillow. I now
No, sorry.
I'm gonna write down that. Now I know. Thank you.
This is why I can never be vulnerable in front of you.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. I'm not always talking about body pillows. So you get the death of Helen, and the whole thing is like this is what I don't understand. Okay, Ray and Julie see Helen get killed, and it's a fisherman there. The fisherman only has a hook. Don't you think like Ray, being a tough guy, Ray grew up poor. He's a fisherman. He's got the fisherman muscles. He fucking parties with Scooby fucking Doo. This guy is the man. And instead of attacking the fisherman, he runs. If you were there and you saw like the fisherman kill one of your friends, even if you had your girlfriend with you or a female friend with you, and you told them that hey, haul ass out of here, wouldn't you say he's only got a hook? I'm gonna go after him.
It depends. Is he actively killing somebody?
At this point, he wasn't he?
Okay.
Like,
Well, if the person that they're killing is already dead, then
Yep.
I'm booking it because I pay my taxes and that's why I have cops. Cops take care of things like that, so I don't have to.
you wouldn't walk up to him and say, "There's two ways to handle this: the easy way and my way." You wouldn't say that.
As we've seen throughout all of these slasher films, no
Mhm.
matter how dead you think somebody is or how easy you think it is to take on the killer, like look at poor Julius in fucking Friday the 13th Part 8.
Yes.
Dude just squared up and just started punching shit out of Jason, almost knocked him off a roof, gave
He
Jason
did.
one hit and bam, knocked his goddamn head off. See, that's what bravado gets you. Hubris will decapitate you in the end.
Well, I think I was disappointed in Ray. He should have manned up. There was plenty of shit everywhere to pick up and fight this guy. He doesn't have a chainsaw. He's not a zombie. He's a fisherman that's just been pushed to his limit. You can fuck up a fisherman. There's no doubt in my mind. Have you ever seen these fishermen bitch because they kicked out of some place they can't fish? They're fragile emotionally. All he has to do is fucking say, "Hey, fishing sucks. You suck. Fuck yourself." He'll drop the hook and want a fist fight, and then you got him.
You are so precious. Has anyone told you that? Like you were a precious young man.
I've heard it quite often.
I just want to give you a blanket and a cup of tea and just be like, let's talk it out, buddy.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I know
call
you
it the
don't
way
need
I see it.
therapy, but like, have a cup of tea with me, would you?
Hey, you know what? I've been a writer my whole life. I was a journalist for 10 years. As a journalist, I knew you have to ask the right questions. You have to be observant, and I observed a lot of things, and this is one of the things I've observed that Ray disappointed me. Like if I was Ray, I'd say, "Hey, Julie, run back to my apartment. Wait there for me. I'm gonna hand this guy his ass." That's what I would have said. Or, "Julie, go get the cops before you wait in my apartment for me." Something like that.
Geno's like, I'm gonna grab this guy's ass and I'm gonna hand it to him.
Yeah, fucking right I would.
This is where it gets kind of confusing. So Ray starts acting creepy for no fucking reason whatsoever. Ben Willis hits Ray and coaxes Julie onto his boat because she thinks he's like the hero of the story, I guess. Then she finds out that the fisherman is the father of the girl David Egan killed last summer. He was the one that they hit with the car, and he was coming from killing David Egan.
Yes.
That's why he was on that lonely highway at night. So then Ben, the fisherman, chases Julie around. For some reason, she doesn't jump off the boat and swim. Okay,
Right.
sure. And then Ray hops on the board after rowing after it in a dinghy. He climbs up some fishing nets, He fights with Ray. Then Julie, like a fucking idiot, says, Ray! And then Ray gets distracted and gets knocked off the fucking boat. These stupid fucking teenagers.
Yep.
Julie runs around the hull of the ship, which, like, how big is this ship?
It's tiny.
Like, Christ almighty. The outside is tiny, but she's running through like 15 different rooms in the bottom of the ship. That's when she finds Helen's body and Barry's body. Ray climbs back on board. He hits. Okay, this is where I got really confused. Ray hits Ben with a hook. Ben accidentally hooks his arm in some ropes.
Yes.
Ray then raises the rope. Ben goes flying up to the top of the mizzen mast or whatever and gets his hand dehanditated.
Yes, he did.
And then he falls into the water.
Yeah, and that's it.
And I just wrote, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, that was like not a epic death for the fisherman.
No, but I feel like it's one of those, like, this was in the book kind of things. Like, maybe the book is vastly different, but I feel like that just seems like something symbolic or metaphorical than it does like an actual real death. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The ending of this film is as absurd and enjoyable as anything, because you get, I believe, Julie is back at college, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So then they're off the boat and they still lie about what happened last summer. And then these are the lines that are said. Ray says to Julie, "No one gets me the way that you do." And then Julie puts her hand on Ray's face and says, "I understand your pain."
Yes.
That's some Lifetime movie bullshit.
Yeah, this it wasn't written well. I'll say that. The film was not written well. The character development was not great. But I've always said if it checks the entertainment box, it wins. The ending of this film, we get Julie in college. She's gonna take a shower. Goes in, the room is fogged up, and the shower door now says, "I still know." And a fisherman launches out of and breaks through the shower door and attacks her. The end. I get it. Scream was big. You want to make a sequel. This guy, the fisherman, he won't let this shit go. There's nothing that can satisfy his bloodlust. What do you think?
I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. He had more than ample opportunity to kill these kids and he didn't take it. He wanted to fuck with them or something like that, but like fuck with them in close proximity. And it's like, why are you prolonging this, you dipshit? You know what? Ask me what I thought of the movie. Go ahead. Ask me what I thought.
Eric, what did you think of I Know What You Did Last Summer? Did you love it?
This movie sucks. I hate this movie. I was watching it and I was like, I don't get it. Why are you fucking with these kids and not murdering them? Why are you killing these ancillary characters that have nothing to do with your stupid revenge thing? And like, this movie is really boring at times. It's kind of like, it's really lame and the acting is really bad. And I remember I saw this movie when it came out.
Yep.
Like I rented it probably from Hollywood Video or something. I remember thinking like, wow, this is pretty good. But now I'm just like, Jesus Christ, it's fucking lame. Everybody's really bad in it.
Yeah.
The killing isn't interesting enough to like carry. Like, you know how like you can have a bad movie, but the murders are pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is not that. Like Friday the 13th remake was pretty stupid, but like at least the deaths were pretty cool. But this is just like, this is like, you could make just a few edits. This thing would be rated PG-13. The acting isn't holding everybody here. Just horrible regurgitated shit. Anyway, Geno, what did you think of I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I liked it. Yeah, make valid points. It's paint by numbers. It is slow at times, but it's so absurd that I started to really find enjoyment in just how strange it was. And I loved the location. The way it was shot was beautiful. The lighting was beautiful. The locations were beautiful. And as they say, everything is location, location, location. Location is awesome. I love the small fishing town. I think the fisherman in his slicker looks badass. The characters are underdeveloped. The writing is lazy. But overall, it checked that box for me. I watched it from start to finish, and there was never a point where I was like, I need to fast forward. This sucks. Which we'll talk about soon with the second one. This movie checked the box. It was entertaining for me. I liked it. I loved the fisherman. I thought he was funny. I like how he said "Happy Fourth of July, Julie." Fucking awesome stuff. A throwback to Valentine, the Valentine horror film, and the Bloody Birthday and all that stuff. So I think it's an '80s throwback. It's worth a watch if you like '80s slashers. Not the best movie in the world. It's not Scream, but it's like on par with Urban Legends and Valentine and stuff. So yeah, I recommend it. I liked it.
I've been watching Urban Legend in a long time, but maybe that's better than this one. I don't remember like Valentine that much, but anyway, I'm sure everything will be redeemed in the sequel.
For sure.
I still know what you did last summer.
Yes.
All right.
That, and you gotta admit though that before you start trashing this epic movie that
what trashing it? I don't even know how I feel about it until we start talking about it. You know.
Well, you gotta admit the beginning scene with the confessional is badass and funny, don't you think?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I said that you have to admit the first scene of this sequel with the confessional is pretty fucking awesome and funny, don't you think?
I don't recall. I was in a fugue state during the beginning of this movie.
Okay, so
what movie are we reviewing? What movie is this?
I still know what you did last summer. You start with Julie walking into the church and and sitting in the confessional, and in the other side of the confessional is the fisherman saying, I know what you did last summer. And that was a dream she had, because I think he launches through the confessional. But I died laughing because it was so stupid. But obviously they didn't know where to go with this movie because the first one was a monster hit. Get the next one out as soon as possible, and we get this. So okay, so now she wakes up.
So in the opening scene, she says in the confessional, 2 years ago I killed a man. No, you fucking didn't. In no way did you kill a man. You were driving. He wasn't dead. He didn't die. You didn't even kill him at the end. He's not fucking dead. You killed nobody. Stop lying.
In her defense,
Sorry,
she may have
had to get that out.
In her defense, she may have killed his heart. He no longer has the ability to love, and that's a form of death, wouldn't you say?
No, I wouldn't. Let's get on with it.
Okay.
Julie wakes up screaming in class from her stupid dream.
Yeah.
And her buddy Will runs after her, who obviously has a crush on her.
Oh yeah.
And then Ray shows up at her college. She went away to college, and Ray shows up at the college to like come hang out with her to come get her to bring her back to what the hell's the name of their town? Southport. Southport.
Okay. Yep.
To take her back to Southport for 4th of July. She doesn't want to go back because of how traumatized she is from the past 2 fucking summers she's spent in Southport.
Yep.
And then Ray gets jealous of Will. And all right, I don't like picking on people. You know that. I try to be nice. I have to say this.
Yes.
Freddie Prinze Jr. seems like a really great guy. He seems very nice, very cordial.
Yeah.
He sucks at acting. And I have watched an inordinate amount of Freddie Prinze Jr. movies in my lifetime. I've seen House of Yes. I've seen She's All That. I've seen Down to You, Summer Catch, Wing Commander, both Scooby-Doo's. We needed to stop with Freddie Prinze Jr. He's really bad. He's really bad, dude.
No, I think he's definitely not a great actor. For sure. That he's kind of like one of those guys that they said, here's a handsome fella, let's make him an actor, and he just doesn't have it. So I'm there with you.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
But you do have
try to unsee this. Every time Freddie Prinze Jr. gets into a fight with someone, he does this thing where he exhales and then he clenches his jaw and purses his lips and just goes, "Oh yeah," or something, or he says whatever he's gonna say after that. It's the same fucking thing every time. Keep an eye out for it, kids.
Well, you see, like so you have what you call it, Julia. She's living with her roommate Carla. Now we once again have a white people jab in this, with Julie saying, "Have you seen my people dance?" So obviously she has residual I don't know, self-consciousness from the first movie. Have you seen my people dance? That I bet you she could cut a rug. What do you think? Macarena? Something?
Julie? I mean,
Yeah,
she had a whole music career. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, she could probably. No, I don't think she can dance. She probably never danced a day in her
she can probably shake a tail feather, as they say.
life. And so that's her roommate Carla, played by Brandy.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna say this: she is the best part of this movie. I loved Brandy in this movie. She was so good. I'm like, oh, couldn't you have been played Julie? Like, even if they completely recast Julie as Brandy in this movie, I
Yeah.
would have been totally fine with it, no questions asked.
I wasn't that big on Brandy in this film, but you know what? She was better than the guy who played Ty. Ty was like such a shitty character and not well
Mekhi
played.
Phifer. You know
Okay.
Mekhi Phifer?
What else was he in? I didn't
He was in
recognize him.
8 Mile. He was in the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Uh,
He was in that really crappy O movie that was a remake of Othello in
oh,
high school.
I went to go see that. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, so he underperformed here. Okay, but Ty.
he he tries to take Julie out into the dance floor, and for a second there I thought this movie was going to become Save the Last Dance.
Yes.
When he's just like, yeah, just do a 2-step, and then like she teaches him ballet moves, and he's just like, no, you got to get your groove on or whatever.
Yep.
Like I thought it was going to be one. I thought it was going to turn into one of those movies, which were very popular around that time.
They were. Oh yeah, Save the Last Dance, all that stuff. That was big business. I found something odd here, and you may have noticed the same thing. Julie sleeps in a dress shirt. Who sleeps in a dress shirt? Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. I think that was popular at the time too. You know, what's that song? Man shirts, short skirts. Oh, I want to be free. Yeah, you know
Oh,
what I feel. Man, I
I
feel
kind of
like a
remember that.
woman.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
by
was a
that.
whole. That was a whole. That was like wearing men's dress shirts was considered sexy back then.
What was the name of that no talent singer that sang that song?
Shania Twain.
Oh, oh, I thought it was someone else. Okay, she's not no talent, but that song sucks. Um, so she wakes up and there's a radio station contest where they have to name like the capital of Brazil or something. They get it, or they think they get it, and now they've won a trip to the Bahamas. Brandy gets to take Ty. Julie gets to take someone of her choice. She chooses Ray first, but Ray, he's busy with some fucking some fish. So I think it was pretty obvious that somehow Will would be the choice. Will was kind of creepy from jump, don't you think?
Yeah, I pegged him immediately. I'm like, oh, you're the killer.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, yeah, you're the fucking murderer. I don't know. I think if you've seen enough of these movies, you're like, yep, nope, you're fucked. Like you're completely wrong. Especially if you become a rival for a legacy character like that. Like
Yes.
if you become a rival to Freddie Prinze Jr. and you seem like the better option, you're probably a fucking killer.
Yep, I agree.
Although I would have
agree.
taken a killer over Freddie Prinze Jr. myself. But did you know the answer to that question? What's the capital of Brazil?
No, I didn't.
I knew it wasn't fucking Rio de Janeiro.
No, I knew that as
And I
well.
thought I was going insane, and then I looked it up, and I was like, "What?"
I didn't know, but yeah. So you get Ray, and he's with his friend, and his friend is Bugsy from The Perfect Storm. Now, I was happy to see Bugsy in this. Are you a fan of Bugsy as an actor?
John Hawkes? I love John Hawkes. He was in 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, Winter's Bone, and a really, really good movie called Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene.
I have not seen that.
I'm a huge fan of John Hawkes.
He was in The Amateurs with Jeff Bridges, which was another great film.
All right.
But The Perfect Storm is where I know him from, is where he's Bugsy. And if you know a guy named Bugsy, you know he can most likely be trusted around people. I've never heard a bad word. Like, have you ever heard anyone say, "Hey, I know this guy named Bugsy. He's a fucking asshole. Leave him alone." I've not heard that.
Wasn't Bugsy Siegel a gangster who murdered a bunch of people?
Yeah, but that's a long time ago. You really
That's
can't
the
hold
only
that.
other Bugsy I can think of.
But this Bugsy, I'm glad
but
they kind
not
of had.
this Bugsy, you see.
I'm glad they had this connection.
You know what's sad is John Hawkes. makes Freddie Prinze Jr. in this movie look even fucking worse as an actor. Because
Yes.
John Hawkes is so good. He was just like
Uh,
he was like literally carrying Freddie Prinze Jr. on his back throughout all of the scenes together.
Well, and I, I don't know if you had this thought too, but when I saw Bugsy and Ray driving, I kept thinking of Friday the 13th Part 6 with Horshack and Tommy. But you get
Except
like,
I really like John Hawkes a lot better than Horshack.
oh yeah, Horshack can suck it. But so Bugsy gets killed, the fisherman is back, and somehow he tracked them down and kills Bugsy, attacks Ray. Ray gets away, and now he finds out that Julie and this group are now going to the Bahamas, and he's gonna go there and he's going to save her because he knows the fisherman is back and he's back for revenge. What did you think about that? What did you think about fisherman coming out and attacking the vehicle like that? Did you think that was a little out of character for him?
This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The last thing that Will Benson knew was that Ray was not going on the trip. So him and Dave spontaneously decided to go up there, but they had already set up this entire trap to get Ray, even though they knew he wasn't going. And
Yep.
It's like, are you fucking stupid? You wrote a plot hole, you fucking like you idiot. And especially
Yes.
it's like literally the next scene where he's just like, all right, well, let's just spontaneously go. Don't tell anybody. Let's just go. And then it's like, oh, okay. But then the fisherman knows he's going somehow. And is
Yeah.
it Will? Is it Will doing it, or is it the fucking fisherman? Because like they're both supposed to be in the Bahamas right now.
well, I don't know. Maybe he has another son that we'll find out in a future sequel. Who knows? But so they go to the Bahamas, and we see one of the most. This guy, I guess it's kind of like Will Ferrell. Either you love him or you hate him. I'm lean towards dislike mostly. Jack Black as Titus, the Jamaican Rastafarian guy, I suppose. That's what he was playing in this film as the most annoying part of this film. Were you happy to see Jack Black? Are you a Jack Black fan?
Not really. I think used sparingly, he's really good. Like Orange County, or like what was that movie about the record store? Fucking John Cusack's in it. High Fidelity.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Good in those side roles. And you know what? After going through the first movie and then coming to this point in this movie,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, something different. Thank you.
Oh God.
Wow. I couldn't believe I was so happy to see Jack Black in a movie. But
Yep.
that was quickly sort of undone by an even better cameo by the front desk clerk.
Oh, who was that guy? He looks so familiar.
That's Jeffrey Combs, man.
What else was he in?
He was the Reanimator.
Ah, yes. Okay, yes.
He was in that movie, The Frighteners. You ever see The Frighteners?
Yeah, with Michael J. Fox.
Oh God, he played the like weird fucking FBI agent who's like been in serial cults or who's been like studying demonology and stuff, and he's just like fucking odd. He was in Castle Freak.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah, Castle Freak was good. Yeah.
He was the dad in Castle Freak.
So he, although I would say he may have overplayed this role just a smidge.
Nope. This movie needed it.
It didn't need
so
Jack
bad.
Black. I will say this about Jack Black because I do shit on Jack Black a lot. I think he's up his own ass a lot, but in certain films, I think he shows he's talented. Like I thought School of Rock was decent. He was good in King Kong. Shallow Hal, he was decent, showing levels of humor and sentimental side. But I think what happens is
The Holiday. Let's not forget The Holiday.
Fuck the Holiday sucks.
Hey, Lori's probably listening, man.
Lori, I'm sorry, I did not enjoy The Holiday outside of Titanic actress. I like her. Kate Winslet could be in anything, and I love it. But yeah, that movie mostly stunk. Too much Cameron Diaz stuff. But Jack Black in this showed exactly why he can suck dog dick at times. It's kind of like Will Ferrell, right? Where he's like, I'm being funny. aren't I hilarious? And when he
Mhm.
tries to be funny, he's not funny. Kind of like Adam Sandler, same thing. But if they're just confined to a role with a director, they can pull it off. Adam Sandler too. Adam Sandler is a great actor if he's got a good director. But if he's directing himself, he sucks balls. Jack Black was points off for me in this film, but I did like the bartender, and I like any tattooed bartender.
Yeah, that's Jennifer Esposito.
Yeah, she was good, man, and she had this like sensuality to her, and tattooed chicks are just awesome anyway for the most part because they're fun. There's a level of fun that adventure that at least they have just beaming off of them, and that's when I started to say, you know what? If Jack Black is there, I'll still go to the Bahamas and tell him to get lost, and I'll just drink at the bar and shoot the shit with her. I will say this: I did write this down, and I want to see if you agreed with me. I think this is the Speed 2 of the franchise. What do you think?
How?
How? Because I liked the first one, and this one is such like a just a terrible version of the first one. Just like so much of repeat, so much of just bad. Where like Speed 1 was awesome, and then Speed 2 was just terrible. I think like the first one of this was decent, and this one is just abysmal.
Well, let's not forget we have a whole other movie to go.
Oh,
So
we do.
I'm gonna reserve judgment until we finish all three movies.
Okay. I do like, you brought up the clerk, and so they did bring out the fisherman relatively quickly in this film, and he's more in play. Like, unlike the first film where you see him here and there and a lot at the end, this film kind of sprinkled him in a more like even way. And he kills Jack Black, and the people get stuck on the island because you have the hurricane coming, and everyone's panicking. And I did like when the clerk said, "You wouldn't know a hurricane if it blew up their ass." I like that
Mm.
line. Did you like that line? Oh,
At a certain point, this movie, after John Hawkes was killed, this movie kind of lost me like completely.
yep.
And I was like holding on to Jack Black and being like, just stick around as long as possible because at least you're fucking memorable, dude. Uh,
Yeah.
they coaxed Julie into singing karaoke, and this is where I remembered that this is where Jennifer Love Hewitt had a singing career. And
Yes.
I watched a VHS rip of this, and it showed the clip of her music video at the beginning, and it was like, this is exclusive music for "I Still Know What You Did Last Summer," and it's like, wow, way to like package yourself in this piece of shit. But they did that thing where like singers, like people like, you got to get up and sing, girl, and they're like, no, don't make me sing, don't make me
Yep.
sing, oh, I hate it, I will, they just get up and they're just like, oh god,
Oh yeah.
like, oh. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot she had a singing career around this
She
time.
did, and
So she gets up and sing "I Will Survive," and then on the karaoke screen comes up, I still know, or whatever.
I like that. It's so stupid that it's good. Like when I watched it, and like, okay, so the bartender's still standing there, where you would think the controls are. How the hell did this happen? So you got to assume Will rigged it to do that, but it was kind of silly, but silly enough to amuse me. But she does sing. She had her singing career. She can sing a little bit. So hey, you can't shit on people like her and Lindsay Lohan and what's the other one? Lindsay McGuire chick. I forget her name.
Lizzie
Hillary
McGuire?
Hillary Duff.
Isn't that her name?
I thought Hillary
Yeah.
Duff. All right, and even like Miley Cyrus, they branched out, and why not? Branch out, strike while the iron's hot, and even the
I'm
Ninja
not.
Turtle.
I'm not saying she's good or bad. I honestly didn't listen to her music, but it's just like I'm talking more about that, like that person that knows they can sing, and they're like, oh, please don't make me. Oh God, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
want to. But like then like of course they want to.
yeah, yeah. Oh, they
That
do.
kind of shit.
I hate that shit
So
too.
I Still Know pops up on the karaoke screen. So she freaks out. For some reason, the fisherman kills the housekeeper.
Yeah, he
Why?
does. Well, now
Why?
I think at this point, like as with a lot of sequels, it's not really any rhyme or reason. It's body count. So you kill
Yeah.
the guy who's dealing with the boats. You kill Jack Black, who really has no impact on this story at all. And then you kill the clerk,
Yep.
which I thought was a cool kill. It was pretty funny. They just walk in, he's got a machete in his head or whatever. Now you have that old black guy that knows
Este.
and I recognized him. I just couldn't place from where.
I can tell you where he's from. He was in Ghosts of Mississippi, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, and Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yes, and he's a good actor, and he kind of brought it. He's gonna be the person they can lean on and all that stuff. And the I forget. I want to say it was Julie who said we're gonna kill this asshole for good, and that's something you don't hear very often.
No, because it's a stupid line.
It's
Ugh,
and so you get the fisherman. He's on an all-out attack. Ty gets
wait. So just to get the plot, so they kill off the boat hand Derek. They kill off fucking Rastafari and Jack Black. They're both dead. Great. Ray tries to make his way to the Bahamas, and he pawns his ring to who is that? You recognize him?
He looked familiar.
Pawn
I
shop
didn't.
owner? Mark
Who was
Boone
he?
Jr., baby. He was in Vampires and 30 Days of Night.
Okay. Yes.
Possibly, maybe the actor who shows up the most in our reviews.
I think so. I think he outnumbers what you call Grizzly Adams.
No, I'm not talking about mentions. I'm talking about how many times he's in a movie. Ray buys a gun with no permit, and there's like, oh, hey, there's like 30-day waiting period. And he's like, I'm not waiting. Ray clearly looks like a dangerous asshole. And he's
He
just
does.
like, okay, well, yeah, all right, I'll give you a gun right now if you need it. All right. So then Julie's freaking out, and Carla and Julie go to the gym where again, with the racist shit, Carla's like, Julie, you need to get your white ass a tan or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, why is everyone so obsessed with this girl's skin tone?
I don't get it. Obviously, the writer has something going on to constantly focus on this. But fuck, I would have preferred bubble butt again. Throw that in there. But Jesus, yeah, get yourself a tan, and you know where this is going. In every horror film, if someone's tanning, those are death traps. And I don't believe that to be true. I don't think you have many people die in tanning beds every year. What do you think?
I don't think so. I think they're pretty safe. Like literally compared to the sun, tanning beds are pretty fucking safe. So yeah, obviously she gets locked in there with zip ties. They come in and try to break her out. But it's like, hey, here's an idea. First of all, they crank it up to like a dangerous level, and I'm like, why does a tanning bed ever have like a dangerous level? Like,
Yes.
What's the point of that? Like, why would there ever be like a max overload in a tanning bed? But then they're trying to like bust her out of the tanning bed, and it's like, you could turn it off. That might be better. And then you can figure, but no, they're just like trying to pry it open. It's like, turn the fucking thing off. Unplug it.
That's what I was thinking too. Unplug it because they're trying to get the zip ties off, and I'm like, it's plugged in somewhere. Follow the cord, you idiots. This is a horror film. People don't always make good decisions. And we find out the obvious. And spoilers here, people. Will is a bad guy, as expected, but he's the son of the fisherman. And he even gave himself the last name Benson. Ben's son. Wasn't that clever, Eric?
Terribly clever. And he just like, he says it like the way he says it. Yeah, Will Benson. Benson. You're like, oh, fucking shut up.
Bad stuff, but I will say we get Ray coming back to save the day, and the death or the supposed death of the fisherman here, when Julie is saying, just fucking die, and keeps shooting him, and he falls in the grave. I kind of found that entertaining. I like that. Did you enjoy that part of this movie?
No, because that didn't make any sense either. Like, Ray shows up, he's got this gun, he tries to shoot it, it doesn't go off for some fucking reason. They never explain why. I forget what happens to Benson or Benson.
Whatchamacallit, his dad accidentally kills him with a hook.
Oh, that's right. Although I will say that like Will does a really awesome clothesline on Ray. I was like,
agree,
wow, that was really cool. Will holds Ben in like a half Nelson, and Ben's we're gonna run Ray to stab him with the hook. And if you've ever seen professional wrestling, you would know you never do that, because he winds up killing his own son. And then Julie shoots him like 9 times from a 6-shoot revolver. He falls into a grave. And then hurricane season ends the next day.
Yeah, and then also Carla didn't seem too bothered because she's like kind of all smiles at the end. Her boyfriend Ty is dead. You think she'd be traumatized?
Maybe she felt about Mekhi Phifer the way you felt about Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah, maybe. But you do get the very end. We're back at college. Some more creepy music, and we get Julie pulled under her bed by the fisherman. Did you like that ending? Did that make sense to you?
Nope, none of it makes any goddamn sense. Is it a dream? Is it real? Who knows? If like you assume it's a dream, you assume the ending of the first one is a dream.
Yep.
There's no rules in these movies. Nothing exists in the realm of reality. So it's like really difficult to tell like what the fuck is going on. I hate those endings. I hate the endings where like the killer does one last jump scare or whatever. Either you're undercutting like this person's survival story, or you're just doing it for like a cheap thrill or like one last jump scare because everybody saw the movie Carrie and they just had to have one more at the end. And it's like,
Yep.
Stop fucking doing that. Just end your goddamn movie, okay? Just end it.
Now,
If you want to make a sequel, make a sequel. Just end your fucking movie.
Now I know how you feel about this movie.
Sorry,
I can
what were you going to say? What salient point were you about to make?
I can sense how you feel about this movie. But I'm gonna ask you this question: what is the most positive thing about this movie, and the most negative thing about this movie?
Most positive thing is like it does have really good side characters. I liked Nancy. I love Jennifer Esposito. I love Mark Boone Jr. I love John Hawkes. There's another guy in there that Ray holds up, and he's like, he's like this great character actor from all these great 80s movies. I think he was the boat guy. It has really good ancillary characters, and even Jack Black in this. What do you do with this character? You're handed this character, and there's like, we're going to pay you to do this. All right, well, I'll just fuck around and see what works. Nobody knew what they were doing, so Jack Black did the best he could with what he was given. I applaud him for what he did. Some actors, you're handed a script and you're just like, how do I make this work? And you just swing for the fences, and it worked. I still remember him from 1998. I would say great side characters. The worst thing about this is it's fucking boring. Again, it's so dull. It's not a good story. This is a one-shot deal. The sequel shouldn't exist. It's a very singular story about these singular people in this singular place in this singular event. It's like open up the story with the lore and whatnot. This is so bad. The fact that this movie exists is terrible. But it made the first one look like fucking Citizen Kane. That's what I would say. Geno, what did you think of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer?
Terrible movie, really bad. Tough to get through. I did like The Fisherman. I thought The Fisherman was fun. I liked his reaction when he killed his son. I liked his reaction in the confessional. I liked when he got shot up and fell in the grave. He was good. The Fisherman is still imposing in this. It's anytime the Fisherman is on set fucking shit up, it's fun. The Will swerve was easy to see. Ray almost plays no part in this. Carla and Ty, I wasn't a fan of. It's just poorly written, bad movie, quickly put out to capitalize on the first one. Piss poor. I would say The Fisherman, if you like The Fisherman, maybe it's worth a watch. Otherwise, it just really stinks. It's very tough to get through, very dull. Thumbs down for me.
Yeah, and I think people saw through that too because this movie bombed at the box office. It was like a $65 million budget and a $45 million payoff. You spent too much money on a very simple premise. I think that's the problem with these movies. You even see it in like Friday the 13th where they increase the budget, but they don't. It doesn't add anything to it. They tend to spend more and make less, Like those movies, like Friday the 13th made a boatload of money. Each one of them did. It's still like your return, like adding all this money to the budget isn't doing it any favors. Like this, why does this movie take place in the fucking Bahamas?
Yeah.
Or, as we're going to find out in the third movie, it doesn't fucking matter where you are. Like the location means nothing.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
third movie.
thumbs down.
Okay, every episode we give Eric 2 minutes to do a movie review. He usually enlightens us with something off beaten path, if you will, if you like beating it on the path, as they say. Eric, what do you have in line for
Good
us?
lead in.
What do you have in store for us this episode for your 2-minute movie review?
Well, I got to go to the movie theaters a couple times. I saw 28 Years Later by director Danny Boyle. I didn't watch the 28 Days or 28 Weeks Later leading into it, so I kind of don't really remember exactly what happens in 28 Weeks Later. But this movie was nuts, and it was so weird to like go to the cinema and see a movie that had like a style. It had an interesting visual palette. It did some interesting things with violence. There's a very intense sequence like midway through the movie. It was just really fucking good. So I would highly recommend it, especially for this young kid who plays the main character, Spike. Great fucking child actor. Just tremendous job. I would recommend this. Go see it in the theaters. It's stylish. It's fun. It was really cool to see it. It was very interesting and well acted. And then I saw Superman by James Gunn. This movie, I was surprised. I don't like Superman that much, but this movie was well acted. It was really clever. It was really fun. And it was like a good superhero ride. And I'm kind of over Marvel. I'm kind of over superheroes in general, but I love James Gunn as a director and a writer. So I was like, of course I'll go see it. Was not disappointed. Huge stakes. Like it's not your typical Superman movie. It's sort of just like it gives you the plot and it throws you right in. There's no origin story, no nothing like that. So just fucking go see it. It's a different kind of Superman movie. I loved it. Now, Geno,
Yes.
you actually went to the movies in the past couple of weeks, and you saw what? And would you like to review it for us?
Yes, I will do my best to keep up with you. I don't go to the movies often. I usually watch them at home, but Jurassic Park Rebirth, it something about it told me I should go see it. I went to go see the original in 1993. Big fan of it. I consider it one of the best movies of all time. It's an event more than a movie, like Terminator 2. We have the beautiful Scarlett Johansson playing Zora, who's kind of like a bounty hunter. You can hire her and her team to get shit. And this guy who works for the pharmaceutical company, he hires her to get dino DNA to create medicine and fuck everyone up the ass to pay for it. And at the same time, you got this complete douchebag named Dr. Loomis who is preachy and self-righteous and trying to convince Scarlett Johansson not to do it and to just give it to everyone for free, like that would ever be allowed. And so they go and they start hunting dinosaurs. At the same time, there's a boat with this family that get tipped upside down by this huge fat ass dinosaur that hits them. And so now they're all together. They end up on the island. They're surviving dinosaurs. We get one scene with a raptor. I wanted more raptors. I like the rap attack. And then you get a lot of dinosaur action, a lot of action in this film. This film was way better than the ones that came before it with Dominion and Fallen Kingdom and even the first Jurassic World. This film is better. It's different. It just follows a small group as they're navigating Dinosaur Island. The CGI isn't as good as it should be after all these years, but enjoyable popcorn movie. I was expecting complete shit. I love the movie. I laughed a lot. I went with my son. We both laughed a lot. I recommend Rebirth. I think it's a big screen experience that you should see, and a lot of people have. It's made money hand over fist. I highly recommend it. Jurassic Park Rebirth. Good movie. Yeah, I try to keep up with you, Eric. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying.
I've sort of long given up on the Jurassic Park series. I was let down too many times. I think I saw 3 in theaters. I saw the first one in theaters, obviously. I saw 3 in theaters. I saw Jurassic World and then the one after that, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I'll check it out when it comes to streaming. There's too many fucking movies coming out that I really, really want to see, and I just, you got to limit it to one a week,
No, I get that, and it's worth a watch. And the Jurassic Park franchise, the first one is beyond awesome, and then after that, it's kind of crap. And then Jurassic World was mediocre.
Yeah.
I went to go see the one where they brought back Sam Neill, and it was the worst one of the bunch. I was so disappointed.
Hmm.
This one, so you're not gonna walk
Yeah.
away remembering it much, but it's a roller coaster ride, lots of fun. Reminded me a little bit of like those. You ever do a 4D experience at a movie theater
No,
where like
never.
the seats move with the screen and they'll mist you with water? It's pretty fun. So it kind of maybe it should have been that, but it kind of felt like that. Okay, so we hope you enjoyed those movie reviews, leading to the third and I guess final film in this trilogy. Since we're on a remake now, I'll always know what you did last summer. I think a killer with a good memory is scary. What do you think?
A good memory?
Yeah, because he still knows and he always knows. He never forgot. There was never a point in his life where he forgot.
He's like a terrible fucking wife or husband that just brings up everything wrong you've ever done. Like
Hmm.
throw it in your face with a giant fishing hook.
Yes, he does.
Gonna lord his shitty movies over you for the rest of eternity. This movie is 92 minutes long and it went straight to video. And Jesus Christ, I had to like break it up over like 2 viewings because I was like, oh my God. It's the
Uh,
shortest movie in the trilogy, but it felt like the longest. Sorry, I hate to spoil how I feel about this movie.
this movie, without question, lower budget than the other two.
And I can respect we're just, gonna give it a go and we're gonna try and do stuff on a very limited budget, but don't call this I blank know what you did last summer. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
just make it its own fucking movie.
Well, and it's not its own movie, really. This movie is a carbon copy of the first until like 70% into it. They basically just said we're going to make the same movie. But we do learn every 4th of July, the fisherman runs wild. It was a straight to video, so maybe the idea was to create a new, like a franchise that was just straight to video releases. They've done it with other stuff. None come to mind right now, but they would take
Like
popular titles.
Carnosaur, yeah, like
Yeah, eight
or
millimeter. 8mm had a sequel to straight to video.
Roadhouse
Oh,
had a
best of the
sequel.
best.
Oh yeah, Best of the Best was like straight to cable, like by part 2. What's the vamp? Is it Subspecies?
Subspecies had like 9 of them.
Yeah, there's like 9 of them
Witchcraft.
straight to video.
Yeah.
Witchcraft, The Howling
Oh
had
yeah.
like there was one with marsupials.
Yes, there was, and even like Ghoulies, another one.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I mean, so there's huge precedent for the 80s and 90s horror movie sequels to go right to video.
yeah, and build off of it, and that's what they're
Yeah.
trying to do here. And the beginning of this film, instead of a person getting hit, they do a prank where PJ is a skateboarder and falls off a building and dies when they were pretending to be the fisherman. And Colby is Barry. Colby says the same lines. He has the same persona. He's just the guy that says we're gonna take it all to the grave, and he makes everyone agree that PJ's death, they had no involvement in it, and they all agree. And Amber is Julie. When I saw it, when I first rented it back in whatever year this was I forget,
2006.
2006, I remember liking it, but I think back then there was enough of a time lapse between seeing them that I forgot that they were so close. But watching them back to back, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm watching the same shit.
But this one has that like weird style of filmmaking that was really popular at the time. Like Tony Scott did this with his movies where he did, you remember Man on Fire
Yes, yes.
and Domino, and it was just like this washed out color palette and like weird editing and crazy kinetic all over the place. That is not this type of movie, guys. That kind of editing does cover up for a lot of budget shit. But actually, I thought this opening kind of interesting. I was like, what are they going to hit another guy with their fucking car? No,
Yep,
they were doing this prank, and it
yep.
killed one of their friends. He was supposed to land on some mats or something, right?
Yeah, and
But
he
he
ended up
landed
getting.
on. He jumped off the roof and landed on a tractor.
Yes.
which was really stupid. But they kind of just like, they're in Colorado. Well, now the fisherman just comes after teenagers with secrets. Okay.
By the end, that kind of makes sense, and I know what they were trying to do, and I applaud them for that. But I'll talk about that as we get into it. But
This movie has no connection to Southport or Freeport or the Bahamas or anything like that. And like they did this prank where it's like this fisherman of lore is coming out, but it's like they had to do all this research on who the fisherman was, and it's like, do you expect your average townie motherfucker to understand what this fisherman thing is?
Yep.
Like did they do research on? Is it a well-known story? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like they had to do a lot of research on their own to figure out what actually happened. But they're like, oh yeah, the town will totally get that this is the fisherman from Southport, North Carolina, obviously from 2 summers ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they were leaning on like the tales of the Lover's Lane and stuff, where everyone knows it. Just kind of going with that assumption that everyone knows it. But I will.
Everybody knows the rabid fisherman carnival killer, right? Like that's a popular legend.
Okay.
I did write this down. It's like after PJ is impaled on a tractor, I was like, uh-oh, they did something that will soon have been last summer.
Yes. A couple things, observations. Okay, so they go and they kind of separate after this, like they always do. I forget if it was 1 year later or not. So Amber, she's sleeping in bed. They do this a lot in film. Her hair is perfect, and she's incredibly peaceful. Nobody sleeps like that unless they're dead. She should have been open mouth, snoring her ass off, drool coming out of her mouth, hair all messed up. Instead, she looked beautiful, and you could just see she was acting like she was asleep. But there was something. She woke up, she goes to the kitchen, the alarm clock goes off, and then she sees her phone, and she's getting 50 texts that say, I know what you did last summer. This should disqualify the fisherman from the first two, because two things. One, he lost one of his hands in the first one, and two, he's of the generation where technology passed him by. So I think David Egan is not the killer in this at all. What do you think?
David Egan wasn't the killer in the first two either.
Oh, who was what name was it?
Ben.
Yeah,
Ben something.
Ben, I'm
Ben
sorry.
Tramer. No, Ben Tramer's from Halloween. Ben Fish. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll call him Ben Dover.
Ben Fish.
Ben Willis.
Yeah. Well, you can text, on those flip phones, and this is mid 2000s, those flip phones, you could text with one hand. Everybody kind of congregates at this one barn party, and Colby left but didn't leave, and he broke. Fuck it, just skip it all. Whatever, there's drama or whatever, and yeah, Mom and Dad left Amber at home. She gets all the text messages. Then Amber goes to see her friend Zoe, who is also part of the prank, and she's in a band.
Yes.
And Zoe, there's tension because Amber didn't come to any of Zoe's concerts in the last year.
Yep.
Even though she sent her a bunch of flyers. Why didn't you? Like, you're in the same fucking town. It's a town of like 12 people. You should have just gone to her thing. And then I noticed this. She runs off and picks up a guitar and starts tuning it so she doesn't have to listen to Amber. I'm like, you have never touched a guitar in your life. She's just sitting there and just like stroking it and just like playing with this doodad and this dongle and all this shit. And she's just like,
yep.
And like, you don't know you don't even know what that is, do you?
Yep. Zoe character didn't seem very realistic. The actress was doing the best she could with it. Yes. It just didn't seem very believable. Colby in the pool. That was probably the dumbest message I've seen. He writes in water, I know, or whatever, and it evaporates. Text messages were good. That was stupid. I did like the ski lift scene with Amber. What did you think when she gets trapped in the ski lift and the fisherman jumps onto the top and tries to break through? What do you think of that?
I didn't get it. It was a ski lift 1 minute, and then the next minute it was like one of those like mountain view gondola things.
Right.
I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening? It goes from ski lift to like a pod, and then he attacks the pod or some shit like that. Yep. And I was so confused. I was completely lost. This movie is such a mess. They go see their buddy Roger, who's wearing a welding mask while not welding for some reason and chases them with a scaffold. And this guy delivers like one of the worst lines I think I've ever heard in a movie. It's the fisherman. He sent me these texts and he goes, "That's impossible. We deleted everything." But he like way overacts it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The Roger character, the actor, did overact. Although I will say, I did enjoy how they made him traumatized and haunted by the incident to where he was suicidal and addicted to drugs and alcohol. I thought that was a believable sort of thing, even though it was overacted. I kind of liked that, and I kind of liked how, even though he was suicidal, he didn't want the fisherman to kill him. He wanted to do it himself. So pretty cool. And the fisherman scene, once again, they steal from the first. The fisherman jumps out of plastic again and goes after Roger and
Yeah, but
kills
not
Roger.
even like there was no build up to it. He's just like, haha, there I am under the plastic. Ah. The only word that popped into my head was so unimpressive. Ah, plastic wrap. Ah. And then he kills Roger, and I guess Roger is supposed to be like David Egan from the first movie where he was like about to kill himself or whatever, but the fisherman got to him.
Yes.
Although he cut his throat with the hook, and actually it was a pretty decent makeup effect, that one.
I liked it. I thought so too.
Then a cop comes and they find Roger, and then the cop starts hitting on Amber at the crime scene.
Yes, he does. But in his defense, have you seen Amber? Beautiful.
No,
No?
I'm sorry. No. I thought Zoe was way more attractive. Maybe that's just a taste thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. I would say Amber, Zoe, and then the sheriff in that order. So you have the sheriff, who's the uncle of PJ, who died in the beginning, and
Yes.
Lance, who's barely in this.
He's PJ's cousin.
And Colby thinks that the sheriff is the fisherman. So you get sort of like that plan to fuck with the sheriff and make him admit it. You finally get some nods, direct nods to the first two, where they break out the scrapbook, which brings up the Bahama trip and brings up Gloucester or whatever the fuck it was. Then we go to Zoe's band. They mentioned earlier, because they mentioned a lot of things like of the time that were popular, eBay, American Idol. Zoe, you know what? She was not my American Idol. I did not think whoever was singing, whether it was her or someone else, was very good. What did you think?
Actually, I kind of like that song. I mean, it sounded like every song in 2006, but compared to the Limp Bizkit wannabe people that came up afterwards, where their whole lyrics were step, step, step to the floor, step, step, step into the floor. Like, you're just like, wow, like Zoe and the Hooks. Her name was Zoe and the Hooks. That was her band.
Ouch. Yeah.
Their depths with you, great song, comparatively.
Well, the crowd loved it. It was almost like they were paid to be there.
Yeah.
And
well, there's another thing. The scrapbook, I have a lot of notes about this. The scrapbook said that there were 4 teens killed in the Bahamas. Who were the 4 teens killed in the Bahamas?
well, you had the old guy on the bus. I mean, he may be a teen in his brain.
Wasn't a teen. Derek, as far as I know, I mean, fucking Jack Black wasn't a teen.
Nope.
Derek wasn't a teen.
Ty wasn't.
The hotel manager wasn't a teen. Ty, I guess, was a teen. Will? Would you count Will as a teen? But also, was Will a teenager who was murdered? I guess he was technically murdered.
Well, yeah, if you look at, because Will was in college. He was probably 18, 19.
But
Julie,
he was Ben's son. Remember? He was Ben's son. Benson?
Yes, he was. That's so clever. And yeah, Julie was probably at 19, right? Maybe, because she was 17, graduating high school, most likely. 18 one year, 19 the next. Okay, I can see that. I suppose the clerk probably wasn't a teen.
Jeffrey Combs is not a teen, and he hasn't been a teen since his teenage years.
The 70s. Okay, so Zoe runs in, and the fisherman gets Zoe. And
yes,
also,
this was a horribly shot death. She's
I
like,
agree.
I guess she's gutted, but then I don't think they had enough money to like actually throw her off of this balcony that they were on.
Oh
so
my
they just
God.
kind of like pulled the camera away and like blew air in her face.
Yeah, yep, that's what they did,
And
I think.
just like, and then like they put, and then it was just like you just hear this like really pathetic sound. It's like her body hitting the floor, and then you
Yeah.
see her like all crucified on the floor or whatever, like hung like Jesus. Whoa, my God! So then Sheriff Davis shows up, and then the fisherman kills Sheriff Davis.
Yes.
Colby is then hooked through the face and found in a dumpster. Officer Hafner shows up. The fisherman hooks him in the balls and impales him on a forklift.
Love that. Love that.
That was. It's like, well, you have money for one death. Choose,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
Then they do the fisherman gets hit with a car, and then he just gets back up, and you realize that he's undead, and it was pathetic. And I was just like, now he's just a terrible version of the creeper.
I'll have to object. I thought the last 20 minutes of this movie was really fun. And I like the fact that they said, hey, we got to do something different. They said, what could make this character go on? And now he's just this zombie that's like waterlogged and angry. I liked it. I was like, oh, this is pretty fun that he can't be killed and he looked demonic and zombified. This series has a bunch of stupid bullshit in it. Why not more? I like that element of it, and I like the cop that got pierced by the fork truck, where he had a thing for Amber like everyone else does in this film, where he's like, I did
Officer
it for
Hafner.
you. Colby death was kind of lackluster, but the fisherman's presence at the end, I thought was pretty good. I thought they did a good job at the end to make it quick, make it fun, and also the death of the fisherman was pretty fun. Did you like that? Did you like how they launched him into like a wood chipper or whatever that thing was?
No. They established that the hook hurts him, and then there's like multiple fishermen, and that he can teleport.
Yes.
What?
He's magic.
Whatever. Like Amber, then they throw him into like some sort of snow tiller that's used on the mountain, and he makes this, like, they hook him through the head. They put the hook in his head, and he makes this sound like he's deflating, like, and then throw him in the tiller. It's like, oh my God. I guess it was okay, but the way everything in this was shot, everything was so poorly edited. You didn't get any like real payoff or like, gore payoff or anything. It was just like fucking bad. It looked like shit. If you don't have the money, don't do it,
I'll disagree with you on a few things here, because I have a soft spot for straight to video horror of this time. It was like a stroll down memory lane of the time. I agree with you. A lot of this film is shit. Like the retreading of the first one to connect it was lazy. But when it found its legs, it did okay. Like, I like the zombie fisherman. Think this could have been a good launch to a straight to video series of zombie fisherman movies. Stupid title. I'll always know what you did last summer, but it's so stupid it's good, because I laugh every time I think of it. I didn't hate this movie nearly as much as
And
you.
then, just to wrap it up, 1 year later, Amber's driving to LA to see Lance. She gets a flat tire, and then the fucking fisherman kills her. But does that really happen? Do the endings of these movies really happen or not? I hate that.
Well, I was saying the first two, no. In this one, if this thing made any money, they were going to make another one. Apparently, it didn't do well. It was okay for what it is. All right, so I'll always know what you did last summer. What's its good points? What's its bad points?
I can't think of one. Zoe is hot. It is such a not worth your time movie. It was such a chore to sit through. I suggested we do this. Like, this is my fault, I did this to ourselves.
Yeah, you did.
And I saw that they were doing another one, and I was like, oh, let's review those, because I remember they were kind of quirky and kind of fun. Wow, I forgot how lame these movies are. Especially when you compare him to Scream, which that's not a fair comparison, because Scream was dope as fuck. This is like a carbon copy of a carbon copy, This was like a cheap cash out. You ever see Leprechaun Origins or something like that? It was kind of like that, where it had nothing to do with anything else. It's like the killer's a fisherman. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's the like, even though it's almost like a solid remake of the first one, it has nothing to do with any of the other ones, and it's so pointless and cheap. This is a cheap movie. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Don't be that ambitious if you don't have the money. It has this weird Tony Scott 2000 style to it that just makes it look ugly. It looks like shit. It's fucking dumb. It only works because everybody in this movie is dumb. They go like, okay, listen, from now on we stay together, okay? And then Zoe's like, well, my concert's tonight and agents are going to be there. Okay, we're going to stay for the concert. And then they go, all right, well then we'll just see you at the concert. It's like, why are you separating? You fucking idiots! Like the whole previous scene was like, we need to stay together and we're going to like leave this town tonight together.
Yes.
And then they're like, all right, I'll see you at the concert. It's like, you fucking idiot. Like, scenes contradicting the previous scene, and just like basically all these scenes and drama and all this shit goes nowhere, and it's pointless. They thought that they were going to do another sequel, and so there's no definitive ending or any kind of like real commitment to anything. All of that being said, Geno, what did you think of I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer?
I kind of liked it. It was a retread of the first. It is over the top silly. The cops being perverts, I thought that was funny. I liked the gondola ski lift thingy scene. I thought once it got its footing, it was fun. There's no doubt that it's slow in the beginning. The first hour of this film is build up. Last half hour is the payoff, and if you think the payoff's worth it, then it's worth a watch. And I kind of think the payoff is worth it. I like the fact that they went in a different direction, because the way they were going, they should have went to the Bahamas. I mean, it was like just basically copying the first fucking story. I reluctantly recommend this, but understand you're gonna have to take the medicine before you get the treat. It's just the way it is. You could do worse. I recommend it. Now, Eric, if you were to rank these, how would you rank them? Like in order of goodness?
2, 1, 3.
2 over 1. Really?
Oh yeah. Those side characters, that side cast was too good to ignore. Brandy and Mark Boone Jr. and John Hawk, like all great fucking like entertaining shit. Love those guys. The first one is just kind of bland. It's just sort of like there's no oomph to it. I know in the book, like, nobody's murdered. The fisherman fucking with them makes more sense, but it doesn't make any sense to fuck with them and then just kill them later. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, you're waiting for 4th of July. Then why even fucking bother? You know? The third one, just set it in the next town over from fucking Southport. That would make so much more sense. Don't show any license plates. Shoot it in Colorado. No one's going to give a shit. Like, the beginning of the first one isn't in North Carolina or anything. Like, those hills and mountains don't exist in North Carolina. So somehow connect it back to the first one. That would have made way more sense. I think I would have enjoyed it better if it had just like a little bit more connection to the first one.
Yeah.
If it even made remote sense. This just didn't feel like a cheap cash in on a name. That's what made it really fucking pathetic for me. Sorry, that's a strong word. It's not pathetic. It's like people worked hard on this, I'm sure, but like it was a stupid movie. Okay, Geno, how would you rank the I blank what you did last summer?
1, 3, 2. I think the first one is a throwback 80s slasher. It's slow, but it checks the boxes and it's entertaining. The third one, slow burn, big payoff at the end, and the second one is quickly thrown together. Not much goodness to be had. I did like the confession scene very much. I like the ending very much, but in between, I could live without. For a horror franchise, it would definitely be at the bottom. If you're gonna waste a day, it's not a bad day to waste. You know, watch the first one, suffer through the second one, suffer through most of the third one, enjoy the payoff, and it'll feel like you had a good time.
Or you could watch good movies instead, and so you didn't feel like you wasted your time. I mean, you know, that's also an alternative.
You can take Eric's advice or take mine. Up to you.
You can watch Braveheart.
Braveheart sucks.
Oh, you just sealed your fate, man. We were watching Braveheart.
Pass me the pillow.
Oh,
That boring 4-hour piece of crap?
First of all, it's 3 hours, and that movie rocks really hard.
Oh, dear Lord.
We're reviewing Braveheart now. You done did it, asshole.
Well, you picked this one. I get the next, so at least I'm spared for that.
You're gonna make me watch Mad Men 2 and 3.
I'll have to find a 3-hour film. Anyway,
The director's cut.
well, everyone, we hope you're enjoying your summer. We hope you enjoyed our takes on the I Know What You Did Last Summer trilogy. We look forward to the remake that's coming out. We may even be touching upon that. Who knows what we'll be touching, Eric? Any final comments to our faithful listeners?
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Yes.
Subject to changes, nothing stays the same. Life keeps spinning in this endless game. Grab your worries, throw them to the flame. Stay tuned and ride on the